Have you ever wondered how you can allow the user to drag and drop files into your application? Well, stay tuned to find out. Alright everyone, in this video I've gone ahead and I've increased the font size of, the text here inside of the editor to size 20, I believe it is that I set it to. If you prefer it bigger like this in the videos, do let me know down in the comments. But in order to get files dropped, we have to get our entire tree and connect the signal files dropped. And then, of course, you can name your function whatever you want to name it. Now, the thing is, with getTree, there are a lot of signals that they don't tell you about. So unless you go browsing through the documentation or click on getTree for whatever reason, you're not going to know about any, or you may not know about any of these kind of signals. And as you see, just clicking on here, we don't even see anything just using getTree. But if we were to search files drop, we can see it pops up under scene tree. And under scene tree, we'll have all these other signals here that show up. And you can see this where some of this online and networking comes in. Checking for server disconnects and checking for your network information for everyone else that's connecting to the server. But this is where files dropped is located. And we can see we get two values returned. We get a screen as an integer, and we get a list of all of our files that we dropped in there as a pool string array. So, for that, we can go ahead and create our function with our two images here, or our two arguments. One for our files as a pool string array, and one for our screen as an int. I have an underscore here just because I'm not using the screen parameter that gets passed back to me. But if you are, then you can definitely take a look at that. This is just an example. Our if statement here is an example of how you would go about maybe using this. In this case, I'm getting the first file that was selected. I'm getting the extension. And then if it's an AVI, MP4, or MKV file, so basically if it's a video file, you could then show a video player and then set the data, the video stream, to that file. So that's how you'd be able to do like a drag and drop for video selection. What you saw me doing is I was changing my background. And I'll just get that out of the way since it doesn't really do anything. I get my background, and what I'm doing there is I create a texture from that image. So I create a variable im called image.new. I then, inside of that image, we load in, and I'm loading in just the first file. So files index 0, so I just want that first item. It wouldn't make sense to load everything in or constantly keep changing the image like that. But if you wanted to maybe change it after X amount of time, then you could save that list of files and change it if that's what you wanted to do. And then to continue on, we have an image loaded, but we need to create a texture in order to use it. So we can create our texture variable, and that is an image texture.new. And all we do is we call create from image on our texture and pass in the image that we loaded. And then all that's left is, in this case, just setting the texture. And that's all it really takes for us to do this. So if I come in and I drag my file in, and before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and print. We'll take a look. I'll say files. And we'll pass in the files parameter that we get. And just save that real quick. Go back over to our list. But you'll see here, if I come in, drag it in and drop it, down here inside of our output. That looks a little small. Maybe I'll zoom in there in post, as long as I remember. But you see, we have a whole list as an array of all the files that we have selected. So if I just go like this and drag them all in, boom, you can see our list continues to grow. And since I'm taking the first image, so let's say I select vampire, and then I come back over here and select this Linux Mint wallpaper. If I drag that in, it's selecting Linux Mint. Now, why is that? Because that's the one image you grabbed with your mouse. So with both those selected, if I grab vampire first, it would have loaded that first. So keep in mind, whatever file that you're grabbing with your mouse, that is file 0. That's always going to be the first file that gets dropped in. But there you go. You know how to get files that allow your user to drag and drop files into your program. Alright, I hope that helps some of you guys out there, or if it's not something that you need, hopefully that was something that you found interesting. If you guys need any help or want to see something specific, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.